welcome to Fin Business. I'm your host Manoj Agrawal. I have with me today two very distinguished colleagues. One is Mr. Anupam Bagchi. He's an industry expert on payments and lending. And I have with me Mr. Gopal Krishnan. He represents Matica Technologies and handles the business for Africa, Indian subcontinent and Middle East. So our topic today for discussion is cards, payments, retail business. Anupam, let me begin with you. We had this demonetization in India, right? And the push was to increase non-cash based payments. Now the trend that is seen in many markets is cash continues to be a major component of the payment systems of the economy, whether you look at US, whether you look at Japan and so many other countries. And these are developed economies, right, where actually people should have migrated to cashless payment methods. Why is it that in India, now in India again, after 3 months after demonetization, cash transactions again have risen, cash withdrawals from ATMs have risen. Why are Indians so attracted to cash? Is there anything in the cards and mobile payment space that is a hindrance for our citizens?
Cash is an intrinsic consumer behavior, and this intrinsic consumer behavior is very difficult to change. As we see in most of the FMCG goods industry, that behaviors are very difficult to change.
Okay.
Until unless there is either a deterrence or an incentivization to use electronic forms of payments, consumers will move to the old habits which are there because it is very intrinsic to their behavior. Other than that, obviously there are issues like acceptance, issues like security in the mind of consumers and so on and so forth, as well as the taxation related pieces which are there intrinsic to the Indian ecosystem. So that's the reason the moment the barriers were lifted, the behavior has come back again. So in long term, in case we really need to migrate consumer behavior in a large way, we need to put either some barriers to using cash or certain incentivization which will go in changing consumer behavior.
What are the latest trends in cashless transactions in the regions that you cover? What trends are you seeing?
I would answer your question in two parts. Primarily from a Middle East point of view, over the last 5 to 6 years, the banks have a mandate to look at new investment engines to basically make their money talk.
Okay.
So one of them was to get more and more consumers into the credit market, and the demand for issuing credit cards from the management of the banks started increasing. The banks had to look at options. So what from the earlier model of Perso bureaus and card manufacturers issuing cards, maybe in a week to 10 days time to reach the consumer, the banks had to adapt a faster means. So the need for instant issuance at branch level issuance started increasing.
Okay.
And this is the main reason for it to be adapted. In the Middle East, that was the reason. In Africa, it is again because the number of footprints of banks in a region is very limited. Of course, the number of cards issued are also much limited there.
Yeah.
EMV is just being adapted in most of the African countries.
Okay.
The need was a little different because they needed to get more and more people into the credit card business, and also the increase of ATMs in the region also increased.
Okay.
To bring banking closer to the consumer. So I would say in the last 4 to 5 years, these have been the prime motivators for banks to look at instant issuance.
And they've actually succeeded, made headway?
They are making headways. There is a lot of branches which are now at teller level issuance have been adapted in the Middle East.
Okay.
Leading banks in the UAE and Saudi adapted. Kuwait has been a major contributor in more than 400 instant issuance centers have been set up in different banks in Kuwait.
Okay.
So there is a definitive movement towards instant issuance. So that the trend is picking up there.
And are banks satisfied with the kind of increase in card usage,
They
credit
need
card
it.
usage?
Actually, they need it. As I said, this is one of their business incentives. To get more consumers to use cards, so that they're in their opinion, they're contributing to churning the economy.
Okay, interesting. Anupam, if we see card usage in India, or if we see card marketing in India, there are lots of ads, get 5% extra discount on this, 10% extra discount on that, on online sales, on retail sales. Have banks actually benefited from these kind of offers? What is the impact of these offers on card usage, on the bank's business? Any observations?
Yeah, I mean, certainly it has a positive rub-off on the bank's business. If any campaign is, with any anchor consumer brand in the online or offline space, obviously during this, promo period, you see a huge offtake with respect to spends which happens. This also is done more from a share of wallet perspective and give consumer more reasons to spend on your card and make your card as the anchor card in his wallet, because we are in a scenario where there are at least more than one card or 2.2 cards per wallet, especially on the credit side of business.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so a lot of external campaigns are more done at portfolio level, and these are more part of marketing initiatives and to see the brand more in terms of ATL visibility, and so it's a balance between you getting more spends, consumers being sticky on your card, and also your brand getting promoted in the market because you want to acquire more number of consumers.
What has been the credit card growth in India in terms of number of cards, active cards, during the last couple of years? Any trends?
So obviously the market has gone through its phases of learning. Till 2007 we had a very robust growth in credit cards with more than 2 crore credit cards hitting the market. We had close to a 8-year growth phase.
Okay.
And post 2008 financial crisis globally, there was a lot of stress in credit cards portfolio, and then multiple banks, in fact from India, quite a few MNC brands had to exit, and then for next 3 to 4 years there was a phase of consolidation. And with the bureau getting stronger from 2010 onwards, from 2012-13 onwards, we are seeing the next level of growth. And certainly at this point of time in 2016, 17, 18, the market is really seeing a very robust growth with close to 500,000 to 600,000 cards getting issued in the market every month.
And any idea what's the total number of active cards, credit
So,
cards?
typically, if you see, there are more than 3 crore cards in the market, and number of active cards will be in the region of 50% of this. So 1 to 1.5 crore will be active cards.
Okay, okay.
On the credit side of it, but debit side obviously has different challenges, and still debit continues to be ATM governed, as we spoke in the first question. Different banks' portfolios have different flavors with respect to POS and e-com activation rates. But of course, in the last 5 years, those have almost doubled at a portfolio level. So somebody who had 5% usage rate on POS has moved to 8 to 9%.
Okay.
People who were having 10% usage rate have moved to 16 to 18% or 20%. So we are seeing positive uptrends, and especially it being guided by e-com transactions.
E-com, yeah. With banks promoting card usage in a big way, what has been the impact on other modes of payments? What about debit cards, mobile payments? Are they part of the bank's focus or not?
Debit cards is still very much in demand, because telebanking is very limited in the Middle East. people more rely on ATMs for their cash requirements.
Okay.
So the need for debit card is very much there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that the movement to credit card issuance primarily over debit card as well as other means of payments like mobile payments was primarily the fact that there is a lot of lifestyle facilities that are provided along with credit cards.
Yes.
Benefits like lounge access, airline points, loyalty points. So these are attractions for a consumer to have credit cards, not just one, multiple credit cards from different flavors,
Okay.
Visa, MasterCard. So I think that's what drives the credit card market very much in the Middle East.
So Anupam, in India, all these add-on facilities like lounge access or reward points and others, are these equally meaningful for Indian customers in general? Are banks getting the benefit of offering all these facilities? Is the spends on credit cards going up? Is the frequency of spends going up in a meaningful way? Obviously, it's growing up incrementally by natural growth. But what about the add-on benefits that companies are offering, that banks are offering?
Yeah, I mean, we need to see the customer base in a very segmented manner. There are consumers who are at entry level of their credit cards journey. They have just joined a job, or are 2 or 3 years into a job, and then you have a middle segment, and then you have an evolved segment.
Mm-hmm.
You can segment it on age level, income levels, vintage. So some benefits like lounge access you spoke about, and other premium accesses like golf or concierge services are actually meant for more the higher spectrum of evolved users. They understand the product very well, and they understand the benefits and are very active users, and their choice of the card depends on what benefit the product carries, and therefore the product has a huge relevance. The entry level segment is more of getting on board into the credit life cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and those are very base feature products.
Right.
And with the market evolving, I mean, of course, that segment is also getting more aware about the product benefits and what does the product offer in terms of core value. For example, in that segment, a petrol surcharge waiver is of very high importance. On
Yes.
debit, obviously, the government post demonetization has eliminated it, and oil companies will take that, but on credit, it still continues. And therefore, that feature is very important for that segment to use
Yes.
the card in a petrol pump, because it's a weekly or a twice a week kind of a usage
Correct.
product. So of course the way the three-party model is of a merchant, an acquirer, and an issuer, with the network being in between, has been kind of conceived in the last 20-25 years. There is a certain revenue flow which happens, and that revenue flow is given back to the consumer in form of certain benefits.
Okay. So which segment is actually beginning to use, enhance its card usage? The entry level, the mid level, the premium level? Where is the maximum growth happening?
I think a lot of low ticket sizes growth is happening in the entry level segments. And
Okay.
entry level segments are driving growth and usage in new categories and a lot of low ticket categories. And I think the primary growth is happening there. The higher segments uses the card in high ticket. As far as hotels, airlines, restaurants goes, those are pretty much very highly covered categories.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk of government payments or small cafeteria payments, or basically sub 500 rupees categories,
Okay.
it's being driven by the entry level segments in a large number.
So banks are, like you mentioned, pushing credit cards and credit card usage. Like Anupam described, we have this segmentation into lower, middle, and upper groups. What are the banking strategies for these three different groups to increase card usage? Because you talked about what sounded to me like the premium segment, where they use credit cards for more of lounges and other golf activities and stuff like that. what are the banks doing to promote card usage at the entry level and middle level?
See, one of the incentives that banks provide, even though personally I would term it as a little risky, for the lower level is to attract them with advanced cash benefits in terms of providing cash loans against credit
Okay.
cards.
Okay.
These are primarily linked to the limits of the card, and this is a major attraction for the lower level to acquire cards.
Okay.
And it also gives them access to rather inexpensive loans.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, because the percentage levels are little lower than, and the KYC requirements are much less when it comes
Okay.
to
Okay.
cash loans against credit cards, at least in the region.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some of the banks are finding it difficult to recover these loans, but nevertheless that trend is there to promote it at the lower income levels and some of the middle income levels. The other attraction for the banks to basically promote it at the lower income levels is to make sure that there is more retail activity coming from the lower income levels.
Is credit card usage important element in building the credit score of an individual in the African regions, Middle East regions?
It is there primarily to judge the more from the usage side. It's a payment side that they look for in improving your credit worthiness. They see how systematic you're in terms of paying back the money. I won't say the usage level is much.
Okay.
Usage is you don't need prompting.
Fair enough.
It happens.
It happens.
Otherwise people do use credit cards quite extensively.
How is it in India, Anupam? Are startups, youngsters, people who are new to the cards business, are they using it to build up their credit score, their rating, CIBIL rating kind of things?
Yeah, in fact, now I know a few startups which are lending even to college students, and those are getting reported also in the bureau. So, so there's a lot of literacy campaign, kind of informal and formal campaigns which are going on, so that consumers understand the need and importance to build up their bureau history.
Middle East region has a huge population of immigrants. Do you see any major difference between the way they use cards and the local population using cards or benefiting from these cards?
I think it's almost uniform in terms of usage, whether it comes to an expatriate or a local. Maybe the local is because of there is a lot of subsidy in this, which the government extends to him. Probably their usage of cards will be limited to certain areas, maybe in retail. But the expatriate does use the card extensively in different aspects of his daily routine.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a big requirement for the entire population there.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for all these insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you, Anupam. Thank you, Gopal.